Late last week, Los Angeles police searching a home in Hollywood Hills that the singer was staying at, removing several items, including a computer. Neighbors saying the Tesla had been parked in front of the home for a while before moving to two different places on the street.
In my comment section posted this photo and my mouth was dropped.
Not necessarily that it was murder. It could have been something else, like an accident or an and that the body was disposed of improperly.
On September 8th, the body of a 13-year-old missing girl was found hidden inside the trunk of an abandoned Tesla linked to singer David. Now, for the first time since the shocking discovery, Celeste's family has spoken out. Rumors suggest they already knew about David, and some witnesses even claim he might have paid Celeste's mom to keep silent. Even more disturbing, there are whispers that David was involved with Celeste when she was just 11, and some say she may have even been pregnant.
More than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same girl who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Police first found the teen's decomposed body on September 8th after being called to a Hollywood tow yard because of a foul odor coming from the Tesla, which was impounded after a person reported the car abandoned. Law enforcement sources say the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who is described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time. The singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, rose to fame on TikTok and is currently on tour.
On her 15th birthday, the decaying body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez was discovered inside the front trunk of a Tesla tied to David, wrapped in plastic. She had first been reported missing in 2024, and her parents claimed they had no clue about her whereabouts. But now evidence suggests David was keeping Celeste trapped with him in LA, effectively holding her hostage the entire time.
Anthony Burke.
When the body was found, the LAPD didn't know much about it because it was so heavily decomposed, but it was a female who had been around 5'2", they thought, and from what they could tell, around 71 pounds, or that is what was left of the remains. So, I mean, it got really gruesome in that moment because the body had clearly been in that trunk for so long.
The body, that of a young teen named Celeste Rivas, seen in this photo from authorities, who authorities say went missing last year from Lake Elsinore, California.
She was 13 years old when she went missing. She would have been 15 had she been living now, but she'd been missing since last year.
Celeste Rivas' mom talked to TMZ, and she said that her daughter was dating somebody named David. She didn't know who he was, but all of this is going to come into play as the LAPD is trying to understand if there was a relationship between David and Celeste.
To really grasp the scale of this, you need to realize that David was being hyped as the next Billie Eilish. With over 30 million monthly listeners on Spotify and more than 1 billion YouTube views, he scored his first record deal at just 17. In the past 2 years alone, he's teamed up with some of the biggest names and brands on the planet. Amazon, Fortnite, Kai Ola, and even Benny Blanco have all collaborated with him.
Not like some crazy, obscure, completely underground figure that like nobody had ever heard of. Like, this guy had a very large and respectable social media following, had done some pretty big interviews with traditional media and sort of new media and podcast media. I mean, I admit, as somebody who regularly covers music, I myself was not aware of this either, but also I've never formally reviewed David's stuff and never dug into him because personally, I just don't find his music that interesting. However, there were clearly a lot of people out there who did, and the fact that this was just going over the heads of so many or just not registering to a lot of people as a sign of something bad is just strange. Especially given that in the wake of Celeste being ID'd, fans have not been having a hard time finding a bunch of different context clues, be it in some of David's biggest songs like Romantic Homicide, a track that when you look on YouTube was apparently released on Celeste's birthday. There's also been a leaked Celeste song with some pretty disturbing lyrics laced into it as well. And these things are concerning enough and honestly are just the tip of the iceberg in terms of like the various connections people have been making.
When Celeste's body was first found, David's fans quickly dismissed it as nothing more than a tragic coincidence, insisting he couldn't possibly be tied to her. After all, why would a world-famous artist have anything to do with a 13-year-old girl? But soon, disturbing details began to surface, suggesting Celeste and David may have actually been in a relationship that allegedly started when she was only 11 years old.
Not look at in this picture, but she was just 13 when she went missing. Celeste's birthday, the 15th birthday, was the day before her body was found. But since it was the stench of rotting human remains that led the impound workers to call the LAPD, it is almost certain that Celeste did not live to see 15. For David, who's now on a world tour, none of this is good news, but it's not bad for him yet, legally speaking. That said, here are some of the bizarre coincidences that you cannot ignore in this murder case. This murder teenager and the up-and-coming singer both have the same tattoos on their right index fingers, reading, "Shh." To be fair, it is a popular tattoo, SHHH, far from unique. But Celeste's mother says that her daughter was dating somebody named David when she went missing. And yes, David is a common name. I get it. Then there's the photo. A photo of David, the singer, in Celeste's neighborhood, not far from her house, minutes actually walking, right before she disappeared. And should I say that Celeste's house is like over an hour away from where David was living, so not likely just to be there for no reason. And now we know that in December of 2023, a song leaked out that is highly curious in retrospect. It is a demo track by David, and it's called, say it with me now, Celeste.
By now, it's undeniable that David and Celeste actually knew each other. Leaked clips show them walking side by side and even living under the same roof. What makes it worse is that David's own friends were fully aware Celeste was underage. His fans, his circle, even his manager all share the blame here. The real question is, why was a global star spending time with a 13-year-old girl, and why did nobody ever step in?
Yeah, that's it, water. This it, water. This it, water. This it, water.
Wow, you look good.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yo, wait. Pray for his career, chat. Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete everything? You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you gonna Epstein? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good to have a big family spot? Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you. He trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one.
Bye, guys.
Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything go.
This story is beyond heartbreaking. Some of David's fans even made jokes about him, despite knowing Celeste had been reported missing. In fact, people inside David's own Discord sent him messages asking if Celeste was the same girl from the missing posters. Now his friends are trying to defend themselves, claiming they thought Celeste was 19, which is why they chose to stay silent.
Crazy because, we think, how does a 14-year-old child present as a 19-year-old woman? And I was told that these people were just so sure that she was a college student. They were specific. They said that she attended USC from what they believed. And also she was seen at events where there's age restrictions, clubs and parties and stuff like this, where she had to be at least of 18 years old to get in. And we do know from law enforcement sources that she did have several fake IDs as well. So she was able to get into places where there was age restrictions. But,
Charlie, it's so sad to hear that you and I are talking about a 14-year-old girl, but I keep going back to the fact that it's possible he connected with her as early as 12, and on the far end, maybe even 11.
David had been dropping disturbing hints. The whole time he was with Celeste, his track Romantic Homicide came out on her birthday, and in it he sings about someone and not caring that they were gone. He's also openly talked about death as a way to feel connected, eerily similar to the twisted beliefs of people like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Fold, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving murder. I'm committing myself.
He found out that David used to watch live leak videos and even admitted to laughing at them in the past. If you don't know what live leak is, it's basically a place that you could go to see people no longer be alive, like videos of that. Now, if you listen to the lyrics of David's songs, it's very obvious that when he said he watched those live leak videos, he was probably being serious. In addition to the live leak stuff, Turkey Tom also found out that David had been called out for what he was doing in his Discord. Allegedly, David would only add girls that were not of age back on Discord while ignoring requests from boys to be added. There was one guy that pretended to be a girl that was not of age and was quickly added by David, but on his main account, David would never add him. Now that, in addition to things like Robin Rivers' comment, it really shows a pattern of David liking them young. And for everyone saying that David isn't a suspect in the police investigation, that is simply misinformation. Police have only not announced who they're looking into. What they haven't done is clear David as a suspect. And judging by the fact that the police not only raided David's rental house recently.
Right after the Fortnite stuff was going on, I moved to TikTok and started doing the covers because I started out as the meme thing. And then I made Romantic Homicide. And it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow. It was sad. It was emotional. It had weight to it. Most of my other songs like Take Me to the Sun and The Dirty Secrets before that and You and I, they're all like these indie up-tempo records I could just like do whatever to. And I played it for my mom. And whenever my mom hates something, I know it's cool. Like when I used to get up and get dressed for school in the morning, I put on this cool fit. She'd be like, take that off, put on a suit or something like that. You know, I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car. And she was like, David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son. And I was like, wait, I might be onto something. So I dropped it right after that. And it went crazy. TikTok, viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy. We cooking, boy. So right at that moment, I was like, my mom has done it again. Because if she said, because I was already skeptical about the song when I made it. Like, I was like, okay, maybe it's just too dark, I don't know what I'm doing. I held on to it for a minute.
David has also been accused of scrubbing evidence. Messages between him and Celeste where she allegedly showed his fans a picture of her ring have been wiped. Those chats reveal that David's manager and his entire team already knew about Celeste and the fact she was missing. Even more shocking, there's evidence suggesting his manager, Josh, actually helped move Celeste into David's LA home.
Moderators are deleting everything in the Discord server, but honestly, I don't think they're that smart, and I don't think they've ever read the rules of Discord, because Discord can download all of that information. But in my opinion, I'm pretty sure the police probably have already been through Discord already, and that's probably one of the reasons why they were able to get a search warrant for the residence that David was living at. Mind you, one of the things that they took out of the home was the computer. Some of these moderators are trying anyway. They were literally talking about purging his Discord, deleting messages, and even deleting pictures throughout the day yesterday. And I mean, at this point, we know exactly why they're trying to purge this Discord, because they are trying to get rid of the information that people were literally exposing him a whole year ago when it came to Celeste Hernandez. I mean, people were calling her out by her whole entire name in this Discord chat to David. I'm sure that this statement from the Discord and Twitch staff confirming that Celeste Hernandez was on 2 streams with David really started getting them shook. But they claimed that they did not know that she was missing, and they thought that she was around 18 to 19 years old. People have went so far into David's Discord before this purge started happening that they were finding stuff like this, like a comment from that deleted user that a lot of people believe is Celeste, that posted a picture wearing a ring and a tattoo on one of her fingers saying David. In this chat on David's Discord, this Zay person says happy birthday, and it's to deleted user, and the date is 9/07/2020. 2022, and they say, "Thanks, babe." We know 907 is Celeste's birthday. And people in David's Discord have even alleged more, that it was more than just Celeste that David was allegedly talking to that was underage. Some of these Discord users that are in David's Discord are acting like this was something that he would normally do.
A private investigator named Steve Fisher was brought in to track Celeste after she first went missing. The day after he emailed David's manager, Josh, Celeste suddenly reappeared. Josh clearly knew David was hiding her in his LA home but chose to stay silent. At this point, everyone in David's circle, his manager, his friends, and even the fans who knew he was grooming. Celeste shares responsibility for what happened.
Like, it was unknown where this missing runaway was. How did it go unchecked? How did no one knock on the David's door that she went to the movie with and say, she's 13, just turned. Her parents want her back and you need to come in for questioning.
Yeah, and especially because we know that she had gone missing, run away earlier in 2024, and the police did go and find her that time and bring her back to her family in Lake Elsinore. So when it happened the second time, why didn't the police go? Why didn't family members go?
It's just astounding to think that, you know, in 2022, when chat groups suggested, is Celeste in here? Yeah, you bet, David. Like, she'd have been just 12. She'd have been fresh out of being 11 years old when the contact may have first been made. If you do the math, he might have been 17 at that point. At the point where they're meeting up, she's 13, he's 18. There's no Romeo and Juliet law that would protect you there.
No.
And then at 19, and she's 14, it's still not good. And then he's now 20. So they may have, I'm not sure when his birthday is, but they may have been 20 and 14 years old if they were together romantically. And again, ain't no law, nowhere, no how, unless your parents are signing off on it, that says that's legal.
Yeah, and it's very clear that her mother was not signing off on this, just from our conversations with her. There are so many questions here about what the nature of this relationship was, and clearly how long it was going on.
When Celeste first went missing, she weighed around 130 pounds, but by the time police recovered her body, she was only 7. TMZ also reported that her body had been dismembered, though some believe that may have been caused by the extreme stage of decomposition. Even more disturbing, screenshots have surfaced of David telling his Discord community that Celeste was pregnant. In one leaked chat with a deleted user, David allegedly wrote, "Me and Celeste got a kid on the way."
Necessarily that it was murder. It could have been something else, like an accident or an and that the body was disposed of improperly. They don't know.
When the news first broke on September 9th, David was nearly 2,000 miles away in Minneapolis on tour.
David went on stage and performed that night and didn't acknowledge anything that happened. And I think that appeared to be a little bit offsetting for people.
Late last week, Los Angeles police searching a home in Hollywood Hills that the singer was staying at, removing several items, including a computer. Neighbors saying the Tesla had been parked in front of the home for a while before moving to 2 different places on the street.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it. So all a little odd, but at the same time, you know, people could be hanging out with friends for a long time.
It was banged up and kept moving from one place to other place within a couple of blocks from here.
The body discovered after the Tesla was impounded and taken to this tow yard for 2 days before workers noticing an odor coming from the front trunk.
There was one real identifying feature that was on the human remains that was left behind, and that was a tattoo on the right index finger on the inside that read, "Shh." David has that exact same tattoo on his right index finger, as do other celebrities. Rihanna apparently made this popular. This tattoo is not incriminating yet, and the LAPD doesn't even know if the tattoo will come into play in all of this.
The singer canceling the rest of his domestic tour after Celeste's identity.
Despite everything, David still hasn't officially been named a suspect, which has left people stunned. Police have already raided his LA home, even seizing a computer from inside. Neighbors confirmed that the Tesla where Celeste's body was eventually discovered had been parked outside David's house for weeks before ending up in the tow yard, which raises the chilling possibility that Celeste was already inside the car that whole time.
About the search at the house, we know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. You know, they were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So they were using luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened. Right. And also, just remind me, this house is being rented by David's manager.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that David is a very young, he's 20 years old. So from what we've seen as listings, this house is going, $20,000. That it can be rented for $20,000 a month. It is a large home. It's an estate, really. That's not the kind of thing even a famous 20-year-old could do on his own, typically. So it is his manager, a guy who is connected to Interscope Records.
Josh Marshall is his name, right?
Yes. So he is the person we found out who was actually on the lease, who was renting this. But again, from all the photos that David has posted, it's very clear he was staying in this home, if not all the time, frequently.
The strangest part of all this is how little the police seem to be doing. Celeste's own brother says he brought them evidence linking David to her, yet they brushed him off. Even with piles of proof-like videos showing David and Celeste together, he hasn't even been labeled a person of interest, and according to TMZ, police aren't giving any answers at all, staying unusually silent about the entire case.